Hi, I'm Stephen Padilla, Director of USBC Coaching. I'm here today with Lou Marquette, Coach and Assistant Coach for Lawrence Tech University.
And that's the most worn part of the lathe.
Oh, what is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. And recently I made a video called Anti-Meta Deck, and I explained how the Minor Poison Cycle deck works and how the Rocket Cycle Burn deck works as well. So I asked you guys whether or not I should make a deck spotlight, sort of like a series where I explain multiple popular top decks that are really featured and played a lot and commonly inside the leaderboard, inside top players, inside tournaments and challenges and stuff like that. So anyways, guys, I'm gonna make another new series. It's gonna be called Deck Spotlight. Tell me, guys, whether or not you like it or not, and tell me, guys, what deck you want me to make a guide on for the next Deck Spotlight video. But anyways, guys, let's talk about the bowler for this week's Deck Spotlight. So basically, Giant Bowler is the defining beatdown deck of this meta. So ever since the SHT Giant Bowler deck has been popular, everybody has been playing. Like literally everybody and their mother and their dog and their fucking cockroach has been fucking playing the E-Bowler, the motherfucking purple Squidward that drank too much Kool-Aid. But legit, Giant Bowler, the reason why it's so good is because it counters other giant decks. It's really like, it feels extremely oppressive just because of the fact that it totally scatters people's offense and defense, and Bowler is just such a good card these days. It's one of the best supporting cards, and the main reason why people use this so much is because poison is such a big thing in this meta, and Bowler decks, Bowler doesn't die from like fucking poison. I mean, like, it's a big boy. It survives everything. It survives the goddamn rocket, which is pretty much a fucking nuke. But anyways, guys, let me explain the bowler and how it works. So there's many bowler versions. There's the original SHT Giant Bowler. So this is basically the SHT deck from the SHT 15K tournaments. The top players played it, and in the Shanghai tournament, this deck got super popular. This is the giant poison deck that everybody plays. So someone got the smarter idea of putting in bowler instead of ice wizard, and then that pretty much made a giant bowler deck. It's an OG giant bowler from the streets of Compton. Giant poison, bowler, mini P.E.K.K.A, pump guards, musketeer, and zap. So now we have giant bowler evolution. Darwin's theory, bros. Darwin's theory. This is how it became. Like, everybody was like, giant bowler, like the OG, it doesn't have enough cancer. We have to add more cancer. So someone perfected a giant bowler deck, and this is the deck I'm gonna be talking about in this video. Giant poison, zap, pump, bowler, mini P.E.K.K.A, ice bear, ice wizard. So this is the standard giant bowler deck, and I recommend this deck. I use this deck the most. I won big tournaments with this deck. Like, I've got third in a 15K with this, like partially with this deck. I've gotten top in a few bracketed tournaments. So yeah, this is the deck, and I've seen people replace mini P.E.K.K.A with lumberjack, and then P-Cats, which is a streamer, really good streamer, has giant poison, zap, pump, bowler, mega minion, ice spirit, musketeer. Hazard, which is also another good player, won a few 15Ks, uses giant lightning, arrows, bowler, tombstone or skeletons, or pump, depending on what troop you like, ice whiz, ice spirit, and mini P.E.K.K.A. And then we have the bowler defensive cheese, which is basically the minor poison cycle deck with the giant bowler that combined. You pretty much overdose here. Trigger warning. This shit is fucking crazy. Like, oh my god, this deck, it will cause you nightmares. Like, Hydra Kids, Hydra Life, your body's not gonna be ready. I don't know, some kid was probably cooking this deck in the hyperbolic time chamber and found the dumbest deck possible. The most meta deck. They combined the two defining meta decks and stuffed it in one. And we got the giant prince bowler deck, giant bowler, prince, ice wizard, ice spirit, pump, poison, zap. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna be talking about the giant poison, zap, pump, bowler, mini P.E.K.K.A, ice spirit, ice wizard deck, the giant bowler evolution deck, So I'm going to be talking about that deck in this video, and I think that is the standard giant bowler deck. So let's get in with some replays and how to play the giant bowler deck. And just a warning, I'm in a clan called Silent, which is the top 50 clan globally. So these guys are super good. They won big tournaments. These guys are amazing. I beaten them before, they beaten me before. I just want to show some replays to show you guys what it's like to play bowler efficiently and well. So let's talk about how to play giant bowler. So this deck is completely based on the bowler. It revolves around the bowler and its high counter push ability. So if you guys don't know, you guys shouldn't be playing this deck to its full potential if you can't counter push with it. So how do you use bowler effectively? So a lot of people think you just drop a bowler and that's easy, you just stop a whole push. It's actually not that easy, especially against another experienced player or another giant poison player. So let's start with how bowler works. You want the bowler to push back cards as much as possible, and for the bowler to control lane, just because bowler, its main usage is for its pushback. I mean, people don't use bowler for its damage. It's tanky enough, but it's not really that good of a tank, but in a pinch you can use that as a tank. So you want the bowler to push back as many cards as possible. You don't want to use bowler for its damage. Since bowler is really good for pushing back, it just buys everything else more time to take out stuff. That way, bowler is such a good card in combination with your with the arrows from your crown towers or king towers. Your bowler just pushes back stuff, and your crown tower just picks off everything. Like it's a motherfucking sniper. But so bowler, it just like ooh wee and takes out everything. Like so. If a bowler is pushing back a mini P.E.K.K.A. and the mini P.E.K.K.A. isn't being targeted by the tower or one of your troops, that's a bad bowler just because the bowler isn't doing anything. It's just pushing it back. The mini P.E.K.K.A. is just still gonna come. I mean, it's not gonna die. So now let's talk about how, since now you guys know how the bowler is sort of like used in its mentality, let's talk about how you want to start off a game. So you want to start off always with a pump. So if you don't have pump in your starting hand, you usually want to cycle to it by using low investment troops like the Ice Wizard or Ice Spirit. Just drop in the back because they won't really be that big of a deal by using them. You really won't be needing them too much. Or really versatile cards, so even if you use them, if someone drops something like barbs, you still have other stuff to take care of it, so you won't be missing anything. And because they're a low investment, low cost troop, low risk, so you usually want to do that. You never want to make the first move with giant bowler. You always want to start with a pump, just because of how good of counter pushing what giant bowler is. So you want to try to cycle the pump as quickly as possible. However, the more deeply embedded the pump is in your deck, the more of an elixir disadvantage you're gonna have, because you're gonna throw away a bunch of troops, which gives you elixir disadvantage. So if you think you have a pretty decent elixir disadvantage, I recommend you first by stopping a push to gain an elixir advantage. Like, don't pump. Even if it's in your hand, don't pump. Wait until you gain back elixir advantage. Wait until they did a first move and then you pump. If you feel like you have elixir disadvantage. So now you guys know how to start off a game. Now let's talk about defense. A bowler is fucking disgusting on defense, but a bowler and Ice Spirit should stop any small pushes, such as Hog Rider, Valkyrie, or something like Night Goblin's Musketeer, like things that are pushed back easily. A single prince, stuff like that. Usually you're just gonna use a bowler and an Ice Spirit. You want to set up a full defense if the enemy is setting up a multi-layer push or something like a counter push. So if you see an enemy setting up a push from the back, setting up a big push, you don't want to start off with a bowler from the back. Even though bowler is a good troop to meet another good push from the back, since it's slow and it's such a good defensive investment, bowler is just a lane, just controls one lane. That way the opponent, once they see the bowler, say they drop a giant in the back and you drop a bowler in the back, they're just gonna split push the other lane, just because they're gonna be missing a bowler, and bowler is their main defensive troop, and bowler only pretty much controls one lane, and it won't do anything against a lone giant. So this way, you usually wanna meet a push with like an Ice Wizard or a mini P.E.K.K.A. If it's a tank or something, you wanna drop a mini P.E.K.K.A. in the back. And then once your opponent drops more troops, and once their troops cross the bridge, then you want to drop the bowler. It depends if you want to drop it in front of your tower, on the side. It depends on the positioning, but you want to test that out yourself once you have more experience with the deck. And then basically you want to use the Ice Wizard and the Ice Spirit to slow down everything so that your bowler still can get everything, because once the troops get too close to your bowler starts hitting sideways and it won't start to hit in a straight line. It won't get everything. So you want to slow that down with an Ice Wizard and an Ice Spirit. Buy as many hits with the bowler and mini pick as possible. So basically the more bowler swings that happen, the more knockback will occur, and the more knockback that will occur, it will buy the mini P.E.K.K.A more swings. And to buy the bowler more swings, you're gonna use the Ice Spirit and Ice Wizard. So basically, it's sort of like a cycle. You want to use your Ice Spirit and Ice Wizard to buy some time and actually let your Ice Wizard, bowler, your mini P.E.K.K.A survive and form a counter push. So you really want to have a cycle with Ice Spirit or Ice Wizard together with bowlers, so that they work together. So you gotta sort of like manipulate your cycle. A wasted Ice Spirit on defense does not seem like a lot, but 2 seconds on a defense is so much more valuable than just 1 elixir. Like, it's only 1 elixir, but reality, it's way more valuable than that. So on some situations, you may want to drop a giant in front of your defense to tank and spank, but only use this rarely and smartly. Like, once you drop a giant, you have to commit into an offensive push, and placement is also key if you're going to use a defensive giant, just because if you're placing your giant too early or too up front, it'll go up too far from your support and it'll die before your support can arrive to back up your giant. So now let's talk about offense. Holy shit, offense! Time to destroy people, to anal people, straight to the tower. So bowler by itself is not a good 5 elixir offensive investment. It's not like a mini P.E.K.K.A where you just want to drop it straight up for offense. You never want to drop bowler for offense. You just want to set up a good counter push with bowler and 1 support troop. So I'm gonna be saying 1 support troop, like a support troop, a lot in this video. Basically, a support troop in this deck means mini P.E.K.K.A or Ice Wizard, those 2 cards. So basically, you want to only set up a counter push when you have a bowler and a support troop from defense. Then you drop a giant in front of the defensive remains, even if you have a pump in your hand. You don't want to pump when you have a counter push going on, just because really this deck doesn't rely on pump to create elixir advantage. Pump is just so for you to be able to have enough elixir to have a good defensive, to be good on defense and to start a good counter push. So basically, the cycle is you want to set up pumps in the beginning. Once you set up pumps, then you can create a good defense with bowlers and support and Ice Wizard, Ice Spirit. Bowler plus support, then you add Ice Spirit and Ice Wizard. Once you set up a good defense, that means you can use an Ice Spirit or Ice Wizard to slow down a push and protect your bowler, and then you gain an elixir advantage in the form of counter push. That's what this deck is so good in. You don't really gain an elixir advantage from pumps, really. That's not the main thing you want. I mean, you only gain 2 elixir from pumps. It's a lazy man's way of gaining an elixir advantage. You use your bowler. Sometimes you even want to overcommit to a defense. If they send a bunch of stuff at you, just because you could create a better counter push. So what if you protect your bowler plus support with an Ice Spirit and Ice Wizard and preserve your counter push, then you could drop a giant in front and begin your push. So if you fail at any point of this line of the cycle, reset by pumping up again, and then you defend again, and then you guard it with an Ice Spirit, Ice Wizard, and then you drop a giant in front. So that's basically the cycle of how to counter push. And once you have a push going with giant bowler and 1 support card, which again is like a mini P.E.K.K.A or an Ice Wizard, you want to back them up with an Ice Spirit no matter what, just because of how good of an offensive troop it is for 1 elixir. Then either poison or deploy another support card, like another Ice Wizard, another mini P.E.K.K.A, depending on how the opponent will try to counter your push. And a good player that plays Giant Poison will know how the opponent will try to counter your push, and then they will send in the right support to take advantage of that. So if you know that they don't have Minion Horde in their hand to counter a Giant Bowler mini P.E.K.K.A, you know that they're gonna drop their Minion Horde, so they're gonna drop an Ice Spirit, beforehand, and you're gonna prepare a poison or zap. Stuff like that. That's how you know you could create a good offensive push. So whatever opponent doesn't send a push at you for you to counter push. So you want to just deploy Ice Wizard or Ice Spirit to cycle back to another pump, because you never just want to start out randomly. If they have a poisonable troop in the back, poison that in the tower. Also, if they have like a pump in the back, you can poison that as well. Just buy enough time for them to push at you, and then you can counter push. You never really want to drop a bowler or a mini P.E.K.K.A. or a giant in the back for no reason at all, just to cycle. It won't really do anything. You really want to counter push with this deck. If you have to do that, you can drop a giant in the back. Just to start off a push, but still not really advisable. You usually want to drop a giant in front of your counter push. But anyways, guys, this deck also lacks a lot of ways to punish bad play or large elixir investments. So I don't recommend doing this if you don't have a good feel for this deck or you don't have experience. But if you know that your opponent cycle is bad or their elixir is low, you have a huge elixir advantage, then you just want to drop a giant mini P.E.K.K.A. Ice Spirit at the bridge, or with sometimes an Ice Wizard or a Poison to support, just to punish them. Most of the times you'll be doing this against Lava Hound decks, just because this deck struggles against Lava Hound and you're gonna do like a base race by split pushing with that. But anyways, guys, a lot of you guys, I know you guys hate this deck. I mean, like, this deck is goddamn scary. Bowler will bowl you out of existence. So you guys, let me tell you guys how to counter a giant bowler. So you basically want to do the opposite of how to play the bowler, make the opponent make mistakes, do the opposite of what I said how to play bowler, manipulate their cycle by sending small test pushes. You never want to commit to a big push against giant bowler, because they're gonna commit better and they're gonna send a better counter push. So if you do commit to a big push, you gotta distract the bowler. So with the miner or tank. So if you're gonna send out a tank to distract the bowler, wait until the tank goes closer to the bowler so that the bowler doesn't hit in a straight line and it hits to the side a bit. So and then after that, you drop your support troops so that your support troops don't get hit by the bowler. And basically, you really want to lure out their bowler and mini P.E.K.K.A. because this deck doesn't really have anything else to defend except with bowler and mini P.E.K.K.A. So lure it out with small test pushes, split push, split push, split push, split push. Like, a bowler has tunnel vision. Like, it cannot tell whether or not you're gonna do something on the other side. So if you see a bowler in the back, just play it randomly, split push, because bowler is just good for controlling one lane. If you drop a bowler, most likely they won't have anything good on the other side. And also, never really want to poison or fireball a giant poison player's pumps, a giant bowler poison player's pumps, just because they don't really rely on their pump, and then they could just settle a big push. You usually want to fireball or like poison a bowler player's defense, just because they have so many things clumped up together. And even though bowler doesn't die or stuff, most of the things don't die inside deck from poison or fireball, it's still pretty crippling just because it weakens everything severely. So never allow a giant bowler player to build up a big push. Split push them, distract them, and make sure that they abandon the bowler. Every time they abandon that bowler, that's a win for you. And the bowler player takes a goddamn fat L, just because of the fact that oh my god, this video is so dumb. Like, giant bowler together is so dumb. I don't even know. Like, why do we have a troop that's just a fucking bowler? Like, oh my god, the bowler, I love the bowler. His face is just a face of a goddamn G. But a bowler on offense by itself is not that good. So if the opponent abandons their bowler, that's a win. A bowler is easily counterable by itself. And anyways, guys, Chicken Bob, Squackbot YouTube, Cancery Bowler Player, I'm out. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out. And tell me, guys, in the comments down below whether or not you guys like this series again, and tell me, guys, whether or not you play this deck well or not with this guide that I just made, and what that you guys want me to highlight in the next video. So anyways, guys, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.